Mayor, one thing I wanted to ask you about was this. I know you came back during this, and I'm just going to throw it out there, the Aquatic Center. What's your feeling on that? It turned into a big hubbub.
It should not be built.
Really? Well, there you go.
It's too much money for this time right now. We don't have that kind of money. Shouldn't be blowing that kind of money. Scott, the mayor, did a great job of vetoing it, I think. Scott told him so.
What do you think happened there, as an outsider?
Well, the city council wanted it. And I think they want to use it as a election tool for fall. And I don't think it will help. And it might hurt. But I think it should not be built at this time. You know, I run this council 30 years, mayor in council 30 years, and we had never, to my knowledge, if I remember, I think I'm right, never made a dime on the pool in a year. And we would spend out of the general fund anywhere from probably $70,000 to $150,000 a year to lose money. Now, of course, this is all very different, but it's still, how many people are we going to generate to get there and use it, and how much we want to charge them to use it, and it's going to build up the Lincoln Park, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But you got your lower income people going to come to us, so you're going to have to give them a better deal so we can afford to get into it. And I don't think it will be paid off. I really don't think. And with this time, with the economy the way it is, and our debt ceiling the way it is right now, and our carryovers and everything like that, there's no money there. I don't trust it alone. I really do. I would have vetoed it too.
Could you believe that it, I mean, just sitting back here watching, I couldn't believe it turned into such a thing with the mayor vetoed it once and then it was overturned and then he vetoed it again, overturned again. I mean, it just seemed to become a far bigger issue than we should be worrying about.
Sure.
That's just something
right. They should have held off for it for a little while.
What do you make of political races nowadays?
I think they're horrible. I think we go to the presidential right now. How both sides, you know, all sides, more than two anymore, but they're so dirty and rotten. I think it's a shame that we lower ourselves to do campaign the way we do it today. I think it's horrible. I get probably 6 phone calls a day asking me for money on the Republican side. And I'm tired of it. And it's early yet. It's early.
We got ways to go.
We got ways to go. It's like, I'm bummed out already. And but I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame the way they act and how they go after each other. False statements. I think it's a shame.
You would be there would be no better person to ask this question to than you. Mayor Scherzer's approaching the end of his first term. Or could be a second, we don't know. What would you say his report card looks like?
Well, he's done a lot of positive things. I don't think there's anything that I would say Scott has done wrong. Because I got to look at Scott's race a little bit different because the economy is so bad right now. They don't have money. And he's getting blamed for a lot of things that he has no control over right now. You know, like the streets are horrible. And, but, you know, if you don't have the money, because the city's got to balance their budget. They're not like the federal government. They got to balance. So they can't spend more than they got. And you can see what's going into 2012 don't look very good for the city right now. Like, in the streets, there's still no money in Texas streets where it should. And there's still, we want to do so many things anyway. And if we have bad storms or anything like that, that all comes back in there and it hurts.
Coming up, obviously, this is a mayoral year. First year, really. You didn't run the last time, but you were still mayor when it was going on. You obviously said earlier on in this interview that you thought it was a campaign tool, the Aquatic Center. What do you make of the mayoral? We know who it is. It's going to be Scherzer on the Democratic side and Gilsdorf on the Republican. You were mayor while both these gentlemen were on council. What do you make of this race? I know, it's a big question.
The race is not a good question. I think Scott will get back in without a problem. And I think of the two gentlemen, he will make a lot better mayor than Dr. Wilsdorf. He and I had some problems, and he was a council and I was mayor. He was a very demanding man, and I would not like to see him as mayor. So I don't think he did a good job.
Now, Mayor, you realize that's a heavy statement.
He's a Republican, I'm a Republican.
That's what I'm saying. That's a heavy. Why? You said some, but why do you think it's going to turn out that Schertzer will win? You gave the.
Well, I think Scott has done a good, decent job in there in the first term, and I think a lot of people know Dr. Wilsdorf, and I just think that people will support Scott.
Will you support anybody?
No.
Any reason for that?
Well, I just will not support anyone.
Would you?
Not financially or anything like that.
Well, let me just ask this. Would there ever be a case where you would ever cross party lines?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But in this particular race, no.
Not right now, no.
Not right now. Okay, that's fine. I appreciate your honesty. I really do. Tell me what the future holds for Jack Kellogg. You're doing well. You feel well.
Feel well.
You're good. You're traveling. You're having a good time. Are you going to be content to stay in retirement?
Oh yeah. Well, let me put this. We have a kind of a museum in our house. We have a lower level basement, which is 2 huge rooms, and I have a large collection of my wife and I together have a large collection of presidential items through the conventions I've been to and collecting over the years, and people give me stuff, and I buy a lot of political stuff. Down in Florida, you can buy a lot of political stuff pretty good because people are older down there and they take it and live in the markets down there, and you can buy a lot down there. And then I have a large Kellogg cereal collection. Huge. As a matter of fact, 400. She went to the last 2 weeks, and there's 495 pieces of it. And I got, and she worked at Marine Power Shovel. I'm not supposed to say how many years, but if I remember right, it's 48. And she had a large collection of Marine Power Shovel items.
I'd love to see this sometime. This sounds amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then I got Marin County stuff, too, all kinds of Marin County history. And I got, of course, all of my 30 years of politics. And I got my bedroom suit and dresser down there in the basement I had when I was a kid. Yeah. And I got then one big section of old tools, the old iron heavy tools. I got a lot. I got 300 of those down there. So I got a real nice, and that keeps us busy. And we work down there a lot. And she loves it, and I love it. And so we spend a lot of time down there getting the things. We just about got everything done. Just sat there and worked and just about completed it. So we got stopped down.
That sounds very, very interesting. Do you ever see coming back to Marion full-time?
Well, that's a hard thing to say. I think your health probably controls that more than anything.
Yeah.
But as long as our health is good, I think we'll continue to go to Florida in the wintertime. We have a lot of friends down there. And my dog's got a lot of friends down there. And we live right next to a large county park that my dog and I go there every morning and walk. And there's deer, alligators, and everything over there.
Do you miss shoveling snow?
No.
There you go. That's a good reason to go away for the winter. Nothing else.
I have a crew that does that when we're going.
I wanted to tell this story before we let Mayor Kellogg get on out of here. And I don't know if I've ever told this. I don't think I ever have on air. But I was doing a charity event for juvenile diabetes. 2005, I think it was, and we were honoring Madge Guthrie, who was, oh gosh, great lady, loved her to death. And I had called your office and said, could we get a proclamation for Madge? And you said, certainly, no problem. She's obviously very respected. And we set this up probably 4 months out. And the week of the show I think was on a Thursday night, and it was sometime over the weekend, but your wife passed away. And I thought, November of 2005. Right. And I thought, well, the mayor, we've advertised him to be there, but certainly this is an exception, that this is a horrible time. You showed up. You showed up and you read it. And I've always appreciated you for that and thought, what a magnificent person you were. Dedicated.
Yeah, I always tried to go to everything I could. It was a 7-day job, 7 days a week. And always something going on the weekends that you had to go to. Well, I enjoyed it though. That was my job, and that's how I made a lot of friends though, by doing things that way. Like another thing that the mayor does, we perform marriages, and I would do about 100 a year.
Really?
Yeah. So I had married a lot of people.
Well, what's your best memory aside from the political aspect of it from being mayor?
Well, that was a difference, especially where I performed. I had to do it in Marion County. Couldn't be out of Marion County. That's the only place I could do them. But some of the locations I had to go and do them.
What was the best, the funniest?
Well, probably the funniest and one I got probably more trouble with was marrying somebody at the motorcycle club out there on Gooding Road, Halloween night. They were all dressed in Halloween costumes. That was really fun.
But you went and had a good time.
Oh yeah, I bet you. But some of the ministers didn't like it. They proposed about I did that. And they didn't like that too well.
I can imagine there'd be a little backlash from that.
But, I got along with the ministers very well. I went to a lot of churches and did a lot of things. And the black community I got along very well with. I just really adore those people, and they treated me great, and I got along good with them.
Sister Erling Hatch.
Oh yeah. She still calls me.
Oh, she's something else. God love her.
Yeah.
Are you still able to perform marriages?
No.
Only when you're mayor.
Yeah, which was nice. I'm glad I lost it. But I know a lot of people.
Well, I got to tell you, Mayor, it's always a pleasure to see you. I consider you a good friend, and I can't thank you enough for coming in and being as honest as you were. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Take care, and we'll talk again soon.
All right.
Mayor Jack Kellogg, take a commercial. Be back after this.